Netflix has a brand new movie that is taking over everyone's attention right now. Leave the World Behind. Not because it's good or anything like that. It's just because who's behind it and the message that it's trying to push. And, well, it's a little bit weird, right? So Julia Roberts is back in a starring role for the first time in, well, for a long time, at least for it to break into public consciousness, okay? It seems to have, like, a pretty big cast behind it. Mahershala Ali, fantastic. Ethan Hawke. Mahershala, okay, bit of a drop-off after Ethan Hawke, but why is everybody up in arms about this? Well, it kind of takes shots. It's taken some very strange shots as well. Now, what's the story of it of this film, Leave the World Behind? We can read the synopsis here. Okay, family's getaway to a luxurious rental home takes an ominous turn when a cyber attack knocks out their devices and two strangers appear at their door. Okay, very interesting. It could be good. Okay, post the kind of a doomsday tale about what happens if all of our beloved and over-reliance on devices ends up just being eliminated from society. How's the 21st century person going to fare? Very interesting premise after all. But then you realize that it's being released in, oh, what's that? 2023, and you quickly realize that no, there are messages to push in this one. So Netflix tweeting out, and I can't play this because of Netflix, oh, they love to copyright strike stuff. But it's not important because, well, you can kind of see, right? You can kind of see from this image right here, after we set up with the synopsis of the plot, well, all your electronic gadgets end up, getting all futzed up and all that stuff. So, okay, you got all of these electric vehicles, which everybody is supposed to be converting to by 2030, right? All your governments is telling you that that's the best way that we need to go about this. But they're all smashing into one another. But instead of having it representative of what would likely be happening, which is of course very important about this because this isn't the only social message that is attracting a lot of attention. This is just one that kind of ended up slipping between the cracks because the other one is just so overt. But do you notice anything about all of those vehicles right there, outside of them being evil and white and just causing so much violence out there? They're all Teslas. And they get referred to as Teslas. It's not like, okay, it's the most popular electric vehicle that's out there, okay, so it would make sense. No. They call a direct attention to the fact that we're dealing with Teslas. They all have Tesla license plates, which are kind of weird in and of themselves, but okay, you go and you take a look, all this tragedy, all these self-driving vehicles just immediately end up smashing into one another. And then they zoom in specifically on the buying sheet, on the dealership sheet. Why are you trying to make such a strong message that Teslas are going to be the ones that are going to end up messing up? And it's so overt that even Elon Musk commented on this Netflix post. Teslas can charge from solar panels even if the world goes fully Mad Max and there's no more gasoline. But what happens when the self-driving cars start to smash into one another? That's what we need to be concerned about. But okay, cool. If you want to have, a warning that, all of your self-driving vehicles, you're eventually going to have to develop the skills, which is something that never used to be a problem, of being able to be self-sufficient and drive for yourself. But tuck that little tidbit of information into your back pocket for a second, because it's going to be a lot more clear when you realize that this is a big Hollywood production taking a direct shot at Tesla instead of EVs in general, because, well, as we know right now, Hollywood, they've kind of got a bug up their ass in regards to Elon Musk, who, okay, yeah, owns Tesla. We all know that. But what else does he own? And what is that other thing that he owns that a lot of Hollywood studios have decided to disperse from? Oh, the same place that he's being mocked, at least indirectly. But something that's a little bit more direct. I think we can probably get away with playing this clip. I've heard a couple of people, I'll just stop it about halfway through for posterity's sake, but you can see a name. You can see a name attached to that, but we'll talk about that very shortly if you're following along. But for those of you just simply listening, the plot is about a cyber attack that shuts down all power and cripples the United States, Predictive programming. Oh my God. Okay, listen, if you're going to go ahead and affix your tinfoil hat, please, just go ahead and give us a heads up to begin with. So, that we can all join in, because I don't want to end up looking silly at the end of the day. But that's something that I'm always cognizant of. The fact that all of this shit could go completely sideways, and if you want to go ahead and start to affix this whole predictive programming stuff, I would hate for things like, you know, Terminator 2 to come out right now because, oh my god, Skynet is coming. And I know there's some people that are like that out there, but now have basic skills just in case that everything goes sideways, okay? Okay, got it, good, since it's understood. They've got a much more, obnoxious message that's out here, okay? And for as much as they say they sneak in a scene bashing white people, it's actually even worse than that. It's two black women having to tell a black guy to be more aware of his surroundings, so it's even still belittling the black man. But then again, you know, if I'm saying that people are breeding in too much for the predictive programming, perhaps your boy's just been reading in a little bit too much of his own. But okay, let's play this for a second.
I'm asking for you to remember that if the world falls apart, trust should not be doled out easily.
Okay, trust should not be doled out easily to anyone. Also, what's going to be very important is, and we'll probably run back, you know, the dialogue in this, man. The death of Hollywood was precipitated by the death of dialogue. Nobody talks like this, okay?
To anyone, especially white people.
Oh.
Even Mom would agree with me on that.
Yeah, your mom would agree with me on that. Okay, that might be the only thing that sounds like a real conversation, but okay, just go into this, okay? I am asking you to remember that if the world falls apart, remember this when the world falls apart, not what are we going to do when everything goes sideways. Trust should not be doled out easily to anyone. Outside of me reading this, I've never, ever, ever uttered that, or even thought to phrase anything that way. Trust should not be doled out easily to anyone. But this is supposed to be pillow talk between a loving couple. But then, of course, yeah, you know, you just got to get that diss in there, especially white people. Yes, the white people that make everything possible that you're doing right there, okay? And then the white people who also created that technology that you're scared is going to malfunction and then just end up causing an entire hailstorm of stuff. But that's all right, guys. If we need to go ahead and have, you know, a supply of peanut butter, that'll never end up going sideways. But as you can see right there up at the top, Barack and Michelle Obama just produced, I'm sorry, what? When I first seen this, they're in the production company. Then it all starts to make a little bit more sense. Produced their first fiction film. Yeah, a little fucking heavy-handed messaging. But the Obamas in their post-presidency, and maybe for Michelle, her pre-presidency, God fucking forbid, but they decided to start up this Higher Ground Productions, and I find it very strange because we got the Wikipedia page pulled up right here. So Higher Ground Production, also known simply as Higher Ground, yes, until they reach it. Fuck, man, trust shouldn't be doled out to just anybody, including the former president and the first lady, not to rip off a much more famous and prominent black guy. Shout out Stevie Wonder, is an American production company founded in 2018 by former United States President Barack Obama and former First Lady Michelle Obama. But okay, so when it comes to feature films, they've released 4. They've released 4 so far. And as you can see, they've already achieved quite a few accolades. Interesting. Company won in 2020. Company won an Academy Award for Best Documentary Feature and a Prime Time Emmy Award for Outstanding Directing in a documentary and nonfiction program for American Factory. No idea what that is, but take a look at their television projects and the amount of nominations that they receive for Emmys, NAACP awards, and that's for everything that they do. That is absolutely wild. Same with their documentaries, right? Like, look at all of these accolades, just showing you how incestuous the relationship between politics and Hollywood is. Like, if that wasn't overt enough. And that's why I'm telling you guys, be fucking wary if Gavin Newsom ever runs, because he has the entire industry tucked in his back pocket. But okay, that's just the production company, right? Like, you could have woke production companies end up producing something great. Like, I'll shout it out again because I'm looking forward to it. House of the Dragon. It's from Warner Brothers, and Warner Brothers ended up commissioning that stupid, shitty Velma project. So, okay, yeah, you can do some good, some bad, but at the end of the day, it comes down to the showrunners, the directors, the writers, the people that are doing the day-to-day planning. And, well, it sure seems like the Obamas were maybe a little bit hands-on, okay? And they would like you to think, leave the world behind, surprising Obama connection. Leave the World Behind is a tense new drama starring Julia Roberts, Ethan Hawke, Mahershala Ali. Hey, you're forgetting Mahalia. I don't fucking know, nor does she. It's not even her real name. It's based on Rumaan Alam's Assalamu Alaikum, a novel of the same name, which former president of the United States, Barack Obama, included in his list of books of the year in 2021. Imagine how that one ended up jumping to the front of the line. Weird. Barack and Michelle Obama have executive produced the film's adaptation through their company Higher Ground's deal with Netflix. Yeah, their first foray into scripted drama, as opposed to all the stories that they were feeding to the media during his presidency. The former POTUS also had a valuable input on the content of the script. Interesting. We want to adapt, we'd like to adapt this book. We really would, and I think it would make for a great feature film. If we get the right cast behind it, but I need to make sure that my real-life expertise and how widespread crisis scenario might actually occur. Or the one where you give too much trust to white people. Is that what was that your input, Brock, or were you just there for making sure that it was all the Teslas that were the ones that ended up crashing into one another? Just want to know for sure. In the original drafts of the script, I definitely pushed things a lot farther than they were in the film, and President Obama, having the experience that he does with what? Putting third world countries further back into the fucking caveman times. Shout out Syria. Was able to ground me a little bit on how things might unfold in reality. I am writing what I think is fiction for the most part, and I'm trying to keep it as true to life as possible, but I'm exaggerating and dramatizing, and I hear the ex-president saying you're off by a few details. I thought I was off by a lot, and the fact that he said that scared the fuck out of me. Oh my god. He had a lot of notes about the characters and the empathy we would have for them. Okay, that also kind of triggered something. Okay, if he's telling him about post-apocalyptic scenarios that the president would be abreast of, isn't that also kind of divulging national safety secrets? I'm just wondering, man, because there's a current former president that's up on those same similar charges, and Barack's out there flaunting it. Okay, interesting. I have to say he is a big movie lover, yes, and he's also a big chain smoker, something that the media wouldn't report on at all. Was giving notes as a fan of the book, and he wanted to see a really good film, and unfortunately, at least based on IMDb ratings, not quite fucking happening. But yeah, man, all of that cringy stuff, all that cringy shit that you're seeing passed around right now, clips from that film, are straight off the desk of the 44th president. For all the people that were saying, oh, he's the voice that we need, oh, he would be the great uniter that's out there, isn't it so great that we're gonna have the first half-black president? All of those fucking woke white retards. Ain't it fucking amazing? Ain't it amazing how actually divisive he really was? So with all that said, thank you all very much for the gift of your time. I've been Don Consuelo. I want you to follow your gut and get after it. Take care, everyone.